Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the debut show of the Around the Ropes radio show. Now, before I bring on our guest calls, I just want to address something quickly here. I know a lot of people were waiting for Jeff to be on with me, but unfortunately, him and I had a little bit of a fallout last night. We had major creative differences on how we wanted the show to grow, and we decided it was best that we part ways. That's the best way I can put it. But enough of that. I want to get on with the show. I'm looking forward to the show. I'm going to choose my guest co-host right now. She does commentary for Dynasty. She's now doing ring announcing. Who knows when she'll make her in-ring debut at this point. Coming back to the show, the one and only your friend Billy, our friend Billy. Billy, how you been? What's going on?
Hey, what's up, John? Thanks for having me back, man. Living the dream. Honestly, it's weird. Everybody says that, but lately, yeah, I kind of am. I really, my weekends are at least.
Yeah, and I saw you were at a New Order Wrestling this past
New Order Wrestling, yeah, Springfield, Mass. It was their debut show, and I got to do ring announcing. Hot crowd, sold out, standing room only type of situation. Incredibly cool venue. Just, oh my God, Springfield, Mass made me feel so welcome. I can't wait to go back. But yeah, up and coming promotion. Check them out. New Order Wrestling out of Springfield, Mass. You guys won't be disappointed. Really cool mixture of legends and up and comers. And we had Mr. John Cena Sr. there at our debut show, and that was like amazing. No, it's funny because everybody else is wrestling and yada yada, and I'm backstage chatting with them the whole time about the reasoning behind all of John Cena's children's books, because I do a library program with the Dynasty, and he was like, "Oh, that's so cool," but he was like, "Oh, did you know this about the books and this about the books?" And I'm such a nerd. Everybody else is like, "Can I get you to watch my match, Mr. Cena?"
And I actually just saw a video post. I wish I had time to upload it, but I just saw the video of your introduction to Bull Dread.
Oh yeah, he did just post it. I was very excited. What an honor! I've been friends with Dread and following him for years. Lots of mutual friends, and this is his 25th year. I mean, he's been wrestling for a long time, and just to be able to. The first time I actually got to see him live, finally, actually perform, was I got to announce him. It was so cool. Yeah, it was an honor. I'm very glad. I had a blast. I met so many cool people at that show. I was a little nervous about it because I didn't know a ton of people in the card. I knew from the Dynasty, I knew Johan Nara. PJ the Whip was there. Sean Pye Jacobs, of course. But yeah, overall, most of the wrestlers I had never met in person before. So it was really cool. And I got to meet a couple that I used to be a huge fan of in the indies, like Big Juicy.
Oh, wow.
So it was awesome to announce Big Juicy.
No, it definitely sounds like a lot of fun. And I was saying about the thing with, ring announcers making their debut, because it seemed like that's the trend now, is ring announcers go from ring announcing to making their in-ring debut. And you'll have to wait on Creative Pro's website for what I mean by that.
Oh, snap.
But
I have some ideas. But yeah, I'm far from ever taking a bump. I am perfectly fine holding a microphone, doing anything else out in the outside, in support staff of wrestling. That's me.
No, I get it. Trust me. But like I said, guys, we got a lot of stuff to get to tonight. We are going to be joined. I guess you can quasi-call this week Immortal Championship Wrestling Week on the show, because tonight we got Mike Skyros coming on ahead of his big title match this Saturday at Immortal Thing 6. He takes on Garrett Holiday. So we got him coming on. Obviously, tomorrow night we got Billy, somebody you know quite well, Kristen DeVille, coming on.
My partner in crime.
And then Thursday, for our first time in, God, seems like a while, Mike King will be on with us Thursday.
Very cool. Awesome Immortal lineup. I love it. So I'm actually tossing up going to that show just because I haven't seen the Immortal crowd in so long, and I don't have anything else this weekend on that day, show wise. So I kind of, I got to see my girl DeVille do her thing. So.
Oh, I totally get that. And then I know this Sunday I have TNA's anniversary.
Yes, which I'm also considering going to.
That's going to be, especially knowing now that we're going to have a title for title match for the women, and we're also going to have triple threat for the main title.
Oof.
Yeah. Also, it's my first time in that building, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's the first time in a while that I've been excited about, and I hate to say this, I think just there's so much wrestling going on right now, but it's the first time in a while I've been excited about a TNA pay-per-view. More like I'm definitely more excited than I have been in a while.
Well, I don't know if you saw I think it was somebody posted today. Carlos Silva, who's the president right now of TNA, put out a post because they had to actually put out more chairs because that's how much of demand there is right now. And the last word he said, he goes, the show's good, something about something. Then the last word he said was phenomenal. And people think, what's his face is going to show up.
The phenomenal one, AJ Styles, absolutely. And he's, by the way, dude is killing it in meme land right now. The stuff with him and Dominic, I am eating it up. I love pure actual wrestling, right? That stuff's amazing. But part of the reason I love professional wrestling is all the cool interactions backstage, the promos, those moments between AJ and Dom lately have been just the highlight of my night.
Well, the one thing I like right now with what we're seeing a lot of pro wrestling is the camera shots now. I'm loving the camera. It's you can tell that we're not in the Kevin Dunn era anymore.
Dun 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 dun.
And we actually do have a comment coming here, and it's somebody who I have not mentioned this person's name in a long time, and I'm actually kind of happy I get to finally mention this person's name. But your current TCW heavyweight champion, Anthony Gangone, is checking us out tonight. So, Anthony, again, glad to have you back, my friend.
Thanks for making our acquaintance, Doctor.
Yeah, I heard you were just down at Titan recently.
Not too long ago, I was at Titan. Anthony Gangone was not at that show, but yeah, I went to the one in Seaside Heights on the boardwalk, which was super fun. I love Titan. It's a hell of a promotion.
Then we also have Shamika checking us out, saying she would go to Summerversary, but she has tickets to Shania Twain.
Oh, well. Girl, I understand.
Hey, yeah. I was going to say something, but I don't want to mix people's songs up and, screw that up, but...
Well, okay, then I'll do it. Yeah, she's going to feel like a woman.
But we're going to get into the celebrity stuff here in a bit. We're going to get into the other stuff going on, but our guest is here, so let me bring him in now. This coming weekend, our guest has a major title opportunity on his hands as he goes up against Garrett Holiday at Immortal Things 6. And I can't wait actually to say this for our first time on Around the Ropes. Welcome to the show, the one and only Mike Skyros. Mike, welcome to the show. How you been?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm glad after 4 years of doing the show, I'm glad we finally got you on.
All it took was a message, and we're here.
Yeah, but how have you been? I know you have a big title match coming up this weekend, but before we get to that, how are you feeling with everything?
Life has been interesting. It's hard to get out of the headspace that I've been in since the last Immortal event. I don't know if you've seen me, but I usually don't look quite like this, right?
I cried a little, my friend. You know how much I loved your hair.
Mm-hmm. You're not the only one. So that's been very present on my mind leading into this Saturday for sure. It's hard to get out of that headspace, like I said.
Is it like a Samson thing, like a biblical?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. No, you'll see Saturday, everyone who goes to the event, everyone who watches the event, very much not the case. And Garrett's created quite a situation for himself.
All right. I think you might have I might have to definitely be there on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone should be there. Might be the last time you see Garrett Holiday wrestle.
Oof.
Big words, guys. Woo.
Well, I guess now let me ask you this now. Obviously, you have this big opportunity coming up on Saturday. But is it become bigger because of what Garrett has done to you?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. It's one of those things. A haircut is a haircut. Thankfully, my hair is going to grow back. But it's the disrespect. It's that coming from someone. I've spoken about this before, but he's one of the few people that in wrestling I considered a real friend, someone I would spend time with outside the ring. I was the officiant at his wedding. I literally married him and his wife, right? And beating me up over a title is one thing. It comes with the territory. I wasn't happy about that. I was mad about that, but it's just a whole nother level of disrespect. So, of course, the championship is important. That's why we're in Immortal, is to be the Immortal Champion. But it's a lot more personal now.
Yeah, I definitely hear it in your voice that, yes, you have the title opportunity, but you can tell me if I'm wrong on this, but this almost comes off to me like you want to kind of teach Garrett sort of a lesson here.
Yeah. You've all heard the term like beating sense into somebody. Sense. Yes. You've all heard the term beating sense into somebody. I believe at this point I'm going to have to hit Garrett really hard to beat some sense into it. So that's my approach to this Saturday. Taking the title, I want to be champion again. Again, the title is very important, but I'm trying to stay focused on keeping this a wrestling match so that I don't lose sight of that, because it's very easy for me to slip into that space where I do want to beat up Garrett. I do want to get revenge. But does that get in my own way? I'm very much trying to navigate where I'm at and stay focused, because a lot of times, I don't know how many fights you guys have been in, but the type of people that say the thing like, oh, I see red and I just black out. That's not how fights really work. A lot of times, if you see red and you go in there like a raging bull, that ultimately works against you. And the anger and the resentment and the betrayal that I'm feeling, I don't want that to get in my own way.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, you want to have absolute control over your facilities and not turn this. Remember, there are rules to wrestling matches, and you're not just
Yes.
Good luck, my friend.
But let me ask you this though. Obviously, when we saw Garrett turn heel, we also saw Sean Carr and Father Derek. They're going to be there on Saturday. Are you going into this basically having your head on a swivel? Because we all know if Garrett is a true heel, he's going to have his, and I hate to use the term, his goonies help him.
So, I mean, I learned that lesson the hard way last time. I charged in like a hero twice. I was able to beat Sean Carr, but I overplayed my hand a little bit, and 3 people are usually going to beat up 1 person. I am not, I'm man enough to admit that. I got beat up by 3 very capable professional wrestlers that are used to beating up people one-on-one to get their money. So when it comes to those guys, yeah, I got to have my head on a swivel. I got to watch out for them. It's tough because with all this going on, it is hard to know who to trust. Like I said, Garrett was on a very short list of people that I considered true friends out of wrestling. So do other people in that Immortal locker room feel that way about me? If I were to call on certain people for help, am I just going to make this worse for myself? And that's kind of what I've been battling with. I have made a few phone calls, but it remains to be seen whether that's going to be something that comes into play for Saturday or whether that's something that's not. So all I can do is I got to go in there. I got to wrestle with focus, with intention, with the killer instinct that I wrestle with, but not let it get out of control. And I have to go in there with the expectation that these people are going to interfere in the match and make sure Garrett leaves with both his head and his title.
Now, that being said, I mean, understandably, you're paranoid about friends not actually being friends. Is there anybody left in the locker room that you absolutely 100% know has your back? Or is it that bad that you're stepping back from that?
I don't know is not like I don't know for sure. There are people I hope have my back. There are people that I'm leaning more towards them being on my side, but I don't know for sure. Like I said, if anyone out there has ever had a close friend turn their back on them, and unfortunately a lot of people have, it's not something you expect. So when that sort of thing happens, you don't know who to trust and who to believe. It's tough. But the questions are going to be answered one way or another on Saturday.
No, I hear it in your voice in the last couple of minutes having you on that in your mind you're pretty much steadfast now on this. Yes, you have the time. We said, like I said before, you have the title opportunity coming up, but this is bigger. Almost like this is bigger than the title at this point.
Yeah, now, it might be.
But now, obviously, you've had big matches with in Immortal. Obviously, my two favorite matches I've seen of yours was you versus Facade. I think it was last year, if I remember correctly. And then how can we forget you and Minoru Suzuki at the next center? Where does this match rank amongst all the matches you've had so far in Immortal?
So this is definitely the most personal match I've had at Immortal thus far, and I hope this is about as personal as it gets at Immortal. It's tough to say how big the match is until we get there. Rome is always a spot. I'm a Syracuse guy. That's very obvious. I talk about it all the time. But I'm a Syracuse guy. Rome is in the 315 area code. It's somewhere where I've always felt was home turf for me. Mm-hmm. And like you said, Immortal's given me a lot of big matches. A good chunk of my biggest matches have come out of Immortal. I'm really glad you referenced the match with Facade. That was my comeback match in October of 23. So a year and some change. And obviously the Suzuki match was huge. It's the biggest match I've ever had thus far. I hope to do bigger things, but it's for sure my most notable match. But this is certainly like the most emotion I've had going into the match in terms of just resentment, anger, betrayal, and really, really wanting to get my hands on somebody.
But let's say somehow Sean or Father Derek get involved. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the only way you're going to be able to settle this is, let's say somehow they get involved, is we get Skyros Holiday almost 2 or 3 at this point. I don't know what number we're up to at this point. But in a steel cage, then there's no way for outside interference.
I think that's a really good idea. If anyone out there or either of you guys are familiar, when Adam Stone and myself, who were former tag team champions at Immortal, we were involved in a bit of a beef with a team called Edge of Hope. And it got to that point where there was so much outside interference, we had to settle it in the cage, and it was settled. So
I was there. It was.
You were there. If the numbers game keeps getting involved, that's a very logical step to take. And I don't know if that's something Garrett wants to happen, because if he thought that he could beat me straight up for the championship, if he felt secure enough in himself to beat me in the middle of the ring, would he have jumped me after a match with weapons and help? Probably not. No. So I believe he's going to do everything in his power to prevent that from happening. And like I said earlier, we have to expect that those guys are going to get involved. I can only hope that whoever the referee assigned to the match is on top of their game and either ejects them or watches out for interference, whatever he's got to do or she's got to do to keep the match on the level.
I like I said, I hear in your voice, you definitely have the drive that you basically want to walk out of the show on Saturday with that title. But I almost feel like my only thing is this, though. How are you going to not let your emotions get in the way? I'm just saying that because that's a human instinct to sometimes let your emotions get in the way. And what you've been saying, since we've had you on, Garrett has made this personal. What can you do to kind of prevent the emotions from coming into play?
John, I wish I had the answer for you. I don't have that answer right now. The match is coming up very fast. It's a few days away on Saturday, and it's gonna hit me even stronger than it's hitting me now. Like you said, you can hear in my voice, and these emotions are very present and at the front of my mind. I don't know. It's something I'm going to have to deal with because I'm going to get in between those ropes on Saturday, and me and Garrett Holiday are going to throw hands. It's going to happen, but how I process that and if I'm able to compartmentalize that, I really don't know.
Well, I hope for Garrett Holiday's sake, you have a nice long gym session or something to get some of the anger out before your show on Saturday night. But I can't wait to see it, man.
Mike, got a couple last questions for you. Obviously, I know you do some stuff in PA as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you notice a difference in the crowds from like the upstate New York area to the Pennsylvania area?
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference in crowds wherever you go. There's a difference in crowds throughout even upstate New York, but when it comes to PA, I've noticed even these days, when you get close to Philadelphia, it's a bit more of a cynical crowd. It's a bit more of a we want blood and guts type crowd. When you go towards northeastern PA, if you go to somewhere like a Hazleton or a Scranton or the surrounding areas, I run into a lot of families out there that like to bring their kids to the show. So they want to see, they want to have their heroes and villains. They want someone to cheer for. They want someone to boo. They want someone to believe in. And I spend a lot of time in different promotions. I wrestled in Alabama earlier this year. There's a completely different flavor.
Wow.
New England. I've spent a lot of time in Vermont and Canada. Everywhere offers something a little different. And part of the fun, but also the challenge of wrestling is figuring out live with one shot in front of a new audience. What do these people pay to see tonight, and how can I give that to them?
And I get that because I feel like, especially when you come into a new area and you've never been there before, they always say first impression is the biggest.
Yes.
And a lot of times when you make that debut, it's like, okay, well, what can I do so then the crowd remembers me? And the crowd will, turn around and kind of, I hate to say, almost put the chant out there, we want Skyros back.
That's the ultimate endorsement. Getting asked to come back, I've had that from a crowd a few times. I won't say I get it. I'm not here to lie to anybody. I don't get it every time. There are places I've showed up, tried to make a good first impression. I've failed. But there are thankfully places where I've shown up and I've gotten that. It's the best feeling in the world to know that they're seeing me for the first time. They don't know me, or maybe they've seen a video or a clip or two on the internet, and I made such a good impression that they want me to be one of their guys. That's an incredible endorsement, and it's never lost on me.
Absolutely. Billy, do you have any other questions? I feel like
No, I'm good. I'm good. I was just going to say everything I've heard from any promotion that I've heard from that has had a Mike Skyros match, it's always been positive. I think you have a way of getting over with most of the crowds, and that's pretty rare, honestly, because it's the fact that I think you've had only a couple little bad experiences means something, and you're still learning something from that. So, but yeah,
of course, yeah. I'll put it this way:
any promotion thinks about having Mike Skyros, they should absolutely have Mike Skyros. I'm just saying.
I appreciate that, son. I'll put it this way: I'm a human being. I'm not sitting out here claiming to be the perfect wrestler and then I knock it out of the park every time. I fail just like everybody else. I've been very fortunate to get a lot of at-bats at different places, and overall, my batting average is pretty good, and I've learned a thing or two over the years, and I attribute that to I'm surrounded by a lot of really good people, and I approach every match, every situation, every promo with a little bit, like I said earlier, what can I do to make sure you get your money's worth out of the show? Because things are expensive. Time is valuable. So to take your family or yourself out for a few hours on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night to see some wrestling, I want to make sure if you paid $20, you get $100 worth of entertainment so that you come back and you bring friends. Everyone deserves that paid a ticket deserves to be entertained, and that's how I approach it, and I always will.
I completely get it. Last question I got for you. Obviously, you've been doing this now for a while. You've been you've been all over the place. Is there a promotion either up here in the Northeast or anywhere that you still have your eyes on that you want to either return to or you want to make your debut in?
That's a good question. In the Northeast, I'll give you a few. Limitless Wrestling is a promotion I think is very cool that I would like to be a part of. House of Glory out of New York City, I think, is incredible. I would love to be a part of what they're doing. And as wild as it sounds, and I believe this should be the goal for everyone who laces up and goes in the ring, is I want to appear on WWE once. I'm not picky about what capacity. That's the show. That's the biggest promotion in the world until someone knocks them off their pedestal. And I want just once to see what's going on there.
You deserve it, my friend.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I will say this much. If there's one promotion I would love to see you at, and it's a promotion that I work with very closely, Recombination.
BCW? Mm-hmm.
Recombination. I would love to eventually have it, and I can talk to the promoter and get it done. Skyros, Darius Carter.
That would be a dream match. I'm not gonna lie. That would be a dream match for my little indie loving heart.
So, let me expand on that a little bit. I've known Darius a very long time. Darius and I wrestled for the first time last August in Pennsylvania for the BCW championship. Obviously, he won because he held on to that belt still. But I wrestled Jay Bougie for his championship, also representing Recombination Wrestling. Ownership is aware of both of those matches. I spoke with them. They had nice things to say. I spent 2 years of my college career in Queens, New York. I think there's something there. So, BCW, if you want to bring me in, I would love to have that conversation.
Mike, I will put it this way. I work very closely with the promoter, and I've become sort of the liaison almost when it comes to sometimes bringing in new talent, kind of putting the bug in his head. So I'm going to try to do my best to, because I think you and Darius in the Mecca would be, I would just say this much. I would pretty much not even drive. I would walk from Stony Brook to Ridgefield Park, New Jersey to see that happen.
I'll fight Darius in the Mecca. I'll fight Darius in the parking lot. I'll fight Darius in Syracuse, New York. I would love to be in a ring with Darius again. He is one of my toughest opponents, but he brings the best out of me. So bring it on.
I will, like I said, I will definitely try to pull some strings to you. But Mike, I'm glad we were able to get you on for a little bit. I know you got the big match coming up this weekend. It's funny. Been doing the show now for a while, especially with covering a lot of upstate wrestling. And I had a list of people who I wanted to get on. And you were one of the guys I wanted for the longest time. So I'm glad we were able to make this happen. And next time we have you on, hopefully, well, not hopefully, I know I'll be calling you ICW Heavyweight Champion.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate it, John. I'm glad I made a good enough impression to be on your list. I'm glad we could make this happen. So if you would like to talk in the future, especially if I'm holding the Immortal Heavyweight Championship, I'll make that happen.
Even if you're not, you're still welcome back here. And also, I actually know the guy who's going to be ringing announcing for you on Saturday. So you might want to, you can go say hi to him. It's Ryan Peterson.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm very familiar with Ryan.
Yep. All right, Mike, before we let you go, where can the fans connect with you on social media, and what else do you have coming up?
Yeah, so all my social medias are very easy to find. They are at Mike Skyros, at MikeSkyros. I'm active on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, Twitter, and Discord. So find me in any of those places.
Absolutely. Again, Mike, good luck this Saturday, my friend. Go teach Garrett Holiday a lesson.
That's my goal.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Later.
All right. Guys, that was Mike Skyros. Let me just take care of something quickly here. All right, Billy, what do you think of having Mike on?
That was awesome. I cannot believe you haven't had Mike Skyros on your podcast.
I've been covering up.
Go ahead.
Here's the funny thing. You're going to laugh. I've been covering upstate New York wrestling now since 2022. Yeah, when me and Redacted made a trip up for the Hall of Fame.
When I met you at the Hall of Fame, absolutely, yeah.
That's when we started covering upstate wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And especially from Immortal, I had on so many of them, and Skyros just never worked out until now.
Well, that's crazy. That was actually my second interview with Mike Skyros, because the short-lived Matriarchs of the Mat, maybe it'll come back one day, we never know, it's always in the ether. Of the 3 interviews that Miss DeVille and I did, one was Team Friendship. Mike Skyros was awesome.
Before we get into the other stuff, I just want to get through some of the comments here. David, who's been a long listener of the show, said, "Hey, John, buddy, just wanted to extend a personal thank you for your recent post and ongoing contributions to my little wrestling group on Facebook. It's much appreciated, my friend David. I said this to you before. This show has gone through hell, has gone through good times and bad times, and you have been there through all of it. So I appreciate you for staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning over in the UK to listen to the show. So I very much appreciate that. Shayna chimes in here.
Hey, Big Irma. Yeah, she's at all the Immortal shows. She's like adopted Skyros as a big brother.
Mark is checking us out. Mark, it's glad to see you as well. He also asked how you were doing, Billy.
Doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you guys?
And of course, my sister chimes in.
What's up, sister?
And then she was joking how she said it would take me a while to get from Stony Brook to Ridgefield Park. But I want to keep things moving here because, like I said, we got a lot of stuff more to cover because we're coming off of a crazy weekend of pro wrestling with Evolution. I think All In, I think it's still going on as we speak. Or I don't know if they finally ended that show already, but we got All In that we had Saturday's main event, we had NXT Great American Bash, but I want to go back to Friday for a hot second. And we had 4-time Grammy nominee, yes, guys, that's how they introduced him. 4-time Grammy nominee, which again, isn't that their way of basically saying that he's lost 4 times? I'm just saying.
Be more positive, Jonathan.
But yes, Jelly Roll, it was on WWE this past weekend, and it was announced he will have a tag team match at SummerSlam. Him and Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre.
Do you see how he took down Logan Paul? Jelly got some jelly.
I will say this much. I've said this before to a lot of people. I'm a fan of Jelly Roll outside of the wrestling world. I listen to a lot of his music. And when he was in that ring Friday night and went on Facebook, went on social media, and I saw everybody was trashing it. And I was sitting there going, this is a guy who's, I read something, or I think Triple H said this after the Evolution PLA, that he, that Jelly Roll trained to be a wrestler before he went to be a singer.
He didn't necessarily say he trained to be a wrestler. He said he did. Yeah, I guess he did. I thought the story was very cool, just short and condensed. I can't not watch the after show wrestlers like I always do. Triple H said he was surprised because years ago, I guess they used one of Jelly Roll's songs. And exactly, Shamika, it's an honor to be nominated. They used one of Jelly Roll's songs, WWE did, and he met Triple H, and he was like, Paul, just look out. One of these days I'm going to lose weight, and you're going to see me. I'm going to come in. I want to be a part of this. And Triple H said, yeah, a lot of people say that, but here he comes recently, like, dropped all this weight, been working out, and yeah, you are right. He did professionally train with some people. And I think he has potential. Good for him, man. Like,
but I'll say this much: this is a WWE dream match, and what I mean by that in this sense is this: you got Jelly Roll on one side, you got Logan Paul on the other side. these two are probably two of the biggest names to come out of the entertainment world and come into the world of wrestling. And I mean, I know we've seen others. We've seen what's his face, Bad Bunny. We've seen. We all have to remember the greatest of all, Travis Scott.
Blink and miss it. No, no. We don't need to discuss that. It's too soon, John. Too soon.
Yeah. But I look at this way. He's not somebody. I mean, like I said, we've seen it before with guys like Logan Paul and Bad Bunny who've come in and actually have done pretty well for themselves.
But yeah, a lot of guys have in recent years.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you start thinking back to the Pete Roses.
I was thinking more.
And I hate to say that because I'm a Cincinnati girl, and the Reds and Pete Rose, he's like a beloved person in my hometown. But ooh, that was rough to watch.
Well, I mean, we can always remember the infamous Snooki.
Oh God, Snooki. Yes, no. Those are the two probably worst I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, I'll put it this way. I mean, you also have, if we're going to go back even farther, go back to the first WrestleMania, the main event. Oh. Mr. T.
What was that? I'm sorry.
No, Mr. T.
Oh, Mr. T. It cut out. I was like, you said Mr. T, right?
Yeah, but
well, you know what? I cannot believe I'm not thinking about this, and don't come at me. But I think one of the biggest celebrity things we're not even thinking about is our current president of the United States, Donald Trump.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, wait, here's another one. Shamika just
said
said
a lot. What was that?
Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, John. You know what? Knoxville did that whole run with him versus Sammy. I actually kind of loved. The giant mousetrap. In that. Oh my God, no! Go back and watch that and tell me you're not entertained, people. Come on.
And David chimes in. He goes, "If they want the crowd to pop for the match, they should have Jelly Roll."
Ken Logan, absolutely, do it.
Well, first of all, if you can't tell, I'm looking forward to this match with the tag match, just for the fact of to see somebody like Jelly Roll in this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Mike is like, I'm gonna be curious, though. With all the hits he has, what's his entrance song gonna be? Well, that's gonna be a big thing for wrestlers.
That's true.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it out there right now.
Is he gonna do his own entrance song? Like, is he gonna sing it as he comes down?
But I got it. His entrance song, "Saving Me."
That's a little slow, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I was saying "Saving Me" when he's about to get hit by a Claymore by Drew McIntyre.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, fair.
No, honestly,
can we just taking a bump like that had to be horrible, and terrifying, and he did it. He took that like a champ. That Claymore was painful looking.
Yeah, I was very impressed with it, and I was sitting there going, for somebody who's not in the industry, and what I mean by that is he's not,
Yeah, he's a musician.
Yeah, well,
he's not an athlete. He's not a wrestler.
I mean, it also dawned on me. We're talking about celebrities. There's 3 celebrities who, and I don't know if you would consider them sort of in this category, but Batista, John Cena.
Yeah. Well, they're they made their fame via wrestling before.
Yeah. So, and then of course we all have to remember, The Rock.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's because it's sort of reverse. I don't think it counts.
But I mean, like I said,
But I'd love to we should have a discussion sometime about the failed attempts of wrestlers becoming actors. Or there's a lot of them out there. I mean, look at all the Marine movies.
I was also
sorry, Miz, I love you.
Well, you also have Triple H. You want to talk about that?
Hey, you know what? I liked him in Blade. I'm sorry. Dude made a heck of a vampire.
But no, like I said, I'm looking forward to this with Jelly Roll. I'm curious to see though if David just said something about I guess David was chiming in on a song that Jelly Roll.
The song for Jelly Roll? Yeah, Liar would be good.
The problem is Jelly Roll has no songs that are fast though that can get the crowd going.
I don't know enough of his music, honestly, to tell you. I know what's on the radio. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I'm sure there's, with a guy like him, it seems like he does a lot of collabs. I'm sure there's something. And he could bring in, like, what's his biggest hit right now? You guys actually know anything about pop culture? I'm so old and out of touch.
Well, I got one. If my girlfriend is watching this, I'm sorry. But this has become a running gag with me every time we mention Jelly Roll. Are we sure that it's actually Jelly Roll and it's not Post Malone just dressed up in a costume?
That is a lot of makeup to change some of those tattoos.
Well, I'm just saying because we've never seen both of them in the same picture. I'm just saying. I'm waiting for the text message to come back of, that she's going to hit me. And I kid. But, we have the celebrity involvement right now. And obviously, looking ahead to SummerSlam. SummerSlam's not that far away. It's only 2 weeks away.
It's crazy how fast it's coming. Like, I blinked and it was SummerSlam season. I'm like, what?
I mean, we started last night. Roman Reigns is back. And I think he came back for the sole purpose to set up him and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Done.
Because originally it was supposed to be Roman versus Seth originally.
And that'll happen eventually, but this Seth injury is going to have him out for it's sounding at least 6 months.
Yeah, they're saying about 4 to 5 months. I'm figuring at this point we probably won't see him. Realistically, probably won't be back till the Rumble. Would probably be my prediction. Because realistically, you have no pay-per-view. Well, PLE, I have to give it I keep calling it pay-per-view.
PLE.
But
live event.
But you don't have anything in December. Obviously, I know years ago we had Armageddon in December. So you don't have really any, and I know I think you could have a Saturday night's main event because I think that's where they're going to set up for Cena's final match. Mm-hmm. From what my understanding. So you don't really have a big PLE coming up. The last one you have is Survivor Series, which is in November out in San Diego. So the best option is going to be the Rumble, I think. Let him, and I think also what he has to realize at this point, Seth Rollins is not young anymore. And with the fact that I think it was when he won the World Heavyweight title originally, before he dropped it to Drew at WrestleMania 40, he had wrestled most of that in having a torn meniscus. So I think eventually he has to. I think when he does come back, I think you're going to see a totally different offense with him.
Definitely. I mean, that's pretty typical for any wrestler that's out for an extended period of time, too, especially if it's a serious injury. I mean, you have to think as they get older, you have to adapt. That's a huge part of it, I'm sure, from everybody that I've ever talked to. Yeah, you don't want to risk having the same injury over and over again. So you got to bring some new things into your arsenal.
Yeah, and that's what I think we're going to see with Seth. I'm just curious to see, though. I mean, we saw the thing with Seth, and I quickly want to get to the other pay-per-view / PLE that we had, the 85-hour-long All-In. And I did get a chance to see a little bit of it.
Yeah, I've seen a few clips. That's it. I want to see it all. I was at my show and where was I? I was busy. I was doing something.
Yeah, you were ring announcing.
Yeah, it was Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason I was thinking it was Sunday. I was like, wait, what was I doing? No, yes, Saturday night. Yeah, I was busy in Springfield, Massachusetts.
I will say this much. For somebody who always bashed AEW on the show, and I'll be the first one to sit here and say I bashed them. For once, I actually have to give them some credit. They actually did the right moves here by having Swerve and Ospreay defeat the Young Bucks. Mm-hmm. The Young Bucks are no longer EVPs.
No, come on. They'll find their way back in.
What I like, though, my match I loved was the ending. Hangman and Moxley. And I know last week, when we had you on before your internet,
which you saw, I had an issue again tonight.
And I remember I said, that match was going to be, it's going to be typical Texas Death Match, but the fact that you had Darby Allin coming back and the way he came back, you had guys like Bryan Danielson came back, and what I'm just hopeful for, that I loved when they started doing that chant. I love
chant wasn't. It's been a while. We needed.
But I read something that supposedly WWE called him. I think right before that or right after. I told them they don't want him to do that anymore.
Really?
Because I think
he's not starting it. The crowd is.
Well, I think from my understanding, I think WWE owns the IP of that.
How can you? Okay, whatever.
It's stuff I don't get into, but no, like I said, I like that. I think that honestly was setting up what we saw in what we're going to see in a couple months with Blood and Guts. Because they also had Samoa Joe got taken out.
Yes, and honestly, I think I'm going to be more interested in AEW now. Like, I'm definitely tuning in this week.
Yeah.
It was just there was a lot of stuff that's happening, but Samoa Joe isn't going to be around for long, right? That's what I'm hearing.
No, well, supposedly he's the reason. Now, again, one thing people know with the show, I don't try to sit here and be like, "Oh, I heard this from backstage," but I read this in a few articles that Samoa Joe was taken out because he has to start promotional for season 2 of the show he does on Peacock, the one where he plays the clown. Why am I trying to blank now on it?
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal, yes, thank you.
Sorry, I froze up for a second. Twisted Metal.
Yeah, but
he plays. How did I just blank on the guy's name? I loved the video game back in the day.
Let me get to David's comment here. He's saying All In was like WrestleMania 4 show on 2 VHS. I could see that. I could definitely.
So the question is, David, are you going to find a way to record All In on VHS just to have it now?
No, he could. I could see him doing that. But one other thing I want to get to, and then we have to get close to the end because I got another show tonight, which I'll get to.
You sure do.
I want to get quickly to the Goldberg retirement match, or let me rephrase that. Hold on, I think he. Obviously, we saw Saturday Night Goldberg was in the main event, took on Gunther, and I was very surprised by how much time they gave that match. Because I think what happened was from watching it, when Seth went down with the injury, if you notice, they played a lot more video packages very quickly for I think a good 10, 15 minutes. And I like the fact that Goldberg didn't win. As much as I wanted him to win just to see what that reaction would be, the other part of me would have sat there and said, do we really need Goldberg as World Heavyweight Champion in 2025?
And, I mean, Goldberg, he's still kind of from that era where you're supposed to go out on your shield, right? Or, leave your, pass the torch type of thing.
Yeah.
Is that the right term?
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know necessarily, just from how Triple H talks about it in press conferences and stuff, I don't know necessarily that WWE wanted to have Goldberg back for one more match, but Goldberg really wanted it. So I don't think he was going to push it and be like, yeah, I want to win the championship one more time. And it's also, now his son is in good graces, because that's something else Triple H mentioned, is that this might not be the last Goldberg in WWE.
Yeah. Well, if you notice that now they have the NIL program. I think we're okay. They have the NIL program now, and a lot of the newest NIL class, I think, from what I understand, it's Scott Steiner's son. I think I heard something Goldberg's son, Titus O'Neil's son, and Mark Henry's son. And the funny thing is, I actually had the opportunity. The whole thing, the year Dave LaGreca got inducted.
2023, I think.
Yeah. And I actually met Jacob Henry because Mark Henry showed up. Jacob Henry is a spitting image of Mark. I just want to know, when he finally gets in WWE, are they going to do the same angle they did with him and Mae Young? I'm just throwing it out there.
John, no.
But
this is 2025. No old ladies are giving birth to giant hands. Okay? If you know, you know. If you're a wrestling fan, you probably know. And you probably can't get the image out of your head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the last image everybody's going to have now, Billy, coming out of the show. Is Mae Young giving birth to the hand.
There's a thumbnail.
I wonder how that hand is doing these days.
Oh, God.
And that hand has to be, 25, 30 years old? But, anyway. Guys, I do want to kind of give a little bit of preview of the show we have coming up for you guys, a new show that joined the network called Around the BCW World. But it's spelled BC, and then instead of two W's, it's WORLD. Basically, the premise of the show is it's going to be a look at the crazy world of Brie combination. You're going to see myself and Anthony Cole on here every week, every Thursday night.
Wow.
Yeah. Covering Brie combination, announcing matches. So it's going to be a place you're not going to want to miss. And coming up on the show tonight, they have a match that they do prior to, like almost like the dark matches, for example. This is the best way I can describe it. And they call it the Come Unknown, Leave Unforgettable match.
I did see the poster for that. Very interesting.
I was fortunate enough to be on commentary for the very first one. And when I do come back to New Jersey, I already was told I'm going to be on commentary once again for these matches. But there was two guys, Phil Barone and Kevin Pryor, who did the last show. And apparently they have a little bit of an issue between each other. And on the show tonight, right after we sign off here, we're going to try to do a peace deal between them. And maybe avoid having them have a match on July 31st when Brie Combination presents Queen of the North live from the Mecca, 106 Bergen Avenue. You're not going to want to miss it, especially with your main event of Darius Carter taking on, what was her name now from NWA?
Kylie
Page?
It's yeah, well, I think Kylie Alexa. She wrestles under that, perhaps.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Kylie Page from NWA, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
the sister of the NWA champion.
Yes. And with that coming up, I know, like I said, we got SummerSlam coming up in a couple weeks. Actually, it's funny. NWA actually comes to my neck of the woods in the middle of August for NWA 77.
Yes, and I am considering going down for that, actually. I was going to, real quick, before you get off of the Brie combination wrestling, I've actually been looking really into, I think I'm going to trip out on the third. I'm not to talk to the fight. I can't see it.
You're going to have to repeat that whole statement. Okay, apparently Billy has now turned into Stephen Hawking. Thank God she didn't hear me on that one because I think she would hit me in the back of the head.
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, crap.
It's cutting out again, I'm assuming. All right, sorry.
No,
Never
but
mind.
like I said, we got Brie combination with Queen of the North coming up. And the funny thing is, all the women involved in this are all international people. None of them, with the exception of one, Harleen Lopez, I don't think any of them have ever actually been in Brie combination. So you're not going to want to miss that show. We have the Grand Rumble coming up in August for Brie combination. Nightmare at the Mecca in October. And there might be some news about that as well, which you're not going to want to miss. But I'm going to say this much. For a first show under this banner, I thought tonight's show was fantastic. Billy, before we sign off here and I do all the house cleaning stuff at the end, final thoughts and what else do you have coming up that you would like to promote?
Ooh, baby. I have, let's see, the Dynasty. We're going to be free show with fair admission at the Saratoga County Fair. I'm very excited. I'm going to be doing commentary as far as I know. Trying to talk Envy into maybe a live broadcast commentary since it's a fair situation. And it's the first time I'm going to be doing a wrestling show in my home county. So that's pretty exciting for me. So that's the 23rd of July. I also have, I gotta have my calendar, John. Yeah, let's see. I have that. Then I don't know.
But
Truly Independent Wrestling. Sorry, TIW Beat the Heat. That is August 2nd.
yes,
Definitely, that's going to be awesome too. So North Adams, Massachusetts. And then the Dynasty Library program. We're gonna be at the Albany Library. I think the Bach branch in the Albany Library. It's a free for kids. I'm there. We read a cool wrestling related kids book. We do a little craft. Have a bunch of the Dynasty guys and girls come in and meet the kids. Ask to do a little Q&A. It's just a super fun. Get kids excited about reading and share everybody's love for wrestling. So I think that wraps up all my stuff.
Absolutely, guys. Like I said. And believe me, definitely go check out Dynasty. I'm still hoping, when I get everything fixed with me, that I can get my butt back up to a Dynasty show, because I do miss being up there. It's a different feeling when you're not at a Dynasty show, especially when I come up there and Chris Envy always loves to pick on me every show. So
I like it because he can focus on you more than me.
Oh shit! Thanks. But guys, like I said, also. I appreciate everybody's support. We have coming up this week. We have the all new Around the BCW World starting up 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. We also have tomorrow night, obviously mentioned before, Miss Kristen DeVille will be on with us, and Bad Bear Brent. He's the current Fight for Flight champion for Ace. So he'll be on with us tomorrow night. Thursday night, we have Mike King and Michael Turner actually returning to the show. Michael Turner is from Main Event Wrestling. So we got that coming up. And then actually, I can't announce this now because like Billy has her paper calendar, I have my phone calendar.
Who's older?
Touche on that one. Coming up next week, Monday night, we got Amanda Fuentes coming up, who's an independent wrestler, but has also been working with TNA. So we'll have her on Monday night. And then, Billy, you're going to like this one. Next Tuesday, 8:15, Nahir Robles comes back to the show.
Nahir!
Ahead of her tag team title opportunity, a pre-combination when her and JC Storm take on the team of Emily J and Journey Burke and could potentially walk out of there as the BCW tag team champions. But wait, there's more. Because the 23rd will be joined by the owner of Warriors of Wrestling, Joe Bellini, will be on with us. Then, the following week, I'm booking myself now to August at this point. Following week, we got Kevin Nasta joining us ahead of WrestleCon.
Awesome.
So we'll have him. I think he will have Thunder Rosa and somebody else at WrestleCon this year.
He always has great people. Always has great people.
Totally agree. And then we have Tristan Law, who's also an independent wrestler, but also he is a podcaster as well. He'll be on with us on July 30th. So a lot of big stuff coming up. Like I said, catch this episode, any of the past interviews we've done, any of the future interviews we will do. You can catch it on Spotify, Apple, Pandora. How I remember this all off the top of my head is incredible. And also catch this replay on Saturday from 12 to 1 on Odyssey and iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
So you're not going to miss that. Guys, best way I can put it is there's an easy way to listen to the show wherever you can. We've made it very easy for people to watch this show. So, again, guys, we got to get out of here because I got to get ready for the next show. We got a layperson coming in here. The girlfriend. Thank God she didn't hear what I said before.
Hello, beautiful.
But, guys, we got to get out of here because Anthony Cole's waiting for me in the other room. So, going to go have a little bit of fun there. Again, Billy, I'm glad we were able to have you on tonight.
Me too.
You know the door's always open. I say this to you every time.
Of course. Thank you. I had a blast, man. Thanks for having me. Go knock it dead with Anthony Cole. And what I was saying earlier is I'm hoping to get down to see Bree very soon.
Absolutely. And guys, again, We Are Around the Ropes, the radio show. I have to remember that now. That's the new name. And we're about to go to around the PCW world. Top of the hour. Don't miss it. Because I will put it to you guys this way. I told this to Billy beforehand. You guys always see me as the good guy. But in about, actually now I got to get over there. I'm going to be the bad guy. So you're not going to want to miss it. But guys, for Billy and Mike Skyros, I'm John. This has been the Round the Ropes radio show. Catch you guys next time.